To call this meeting to order on September 21st, 2022. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to start first with public comments and announcements. Does anybody have any comments from the public or?
I think we're good to go this time.
No? Okay. All right. We'll move right along then to the regular agenda. First off with 4.1, approval of the August 17th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
High motion.
We have a
And
sec-
a second.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any no-sayers? All right, motion is approved. Next up is agenda item 4.2. It's update and discussion regarding city parks and maintenance with Mr. John Wilson.
Could I have the overhead? Good morning. My name is John Wilson. I'm the Assistant Public Works Director. Just a quick update on some of our parks. Over at Tompkins Park, we have improved the parking lot. We want to get rid of the thorny plants that were out there before. And would you guys like plants planted here, or you want to leave it this nice, clean-looking white rock? Or
Okay, say that again, John.
would you guys like plants planted there in this area?
Weren't there
With-
plants
or-
before?
Well, he took out the thorny
Thorny
plants.
ones. Remember, they had those sharp thorns and people were getting
Right.
stuck.
Snagged and stuff.
They were all along here, so we pulled them out. So that's what he's talking about, what we should put there.
Should we add plants?
People walk through the planters and when they park and stuff, so it's,
Is there something that could be planted there? Maybe Javi can answer this, that wouldn't get trampled down so much if people walk through there?
Bird of paradise would be nice.
There's a couple options. There's a Widelia that doesn't grow like the one that sprawls out. That grows just more bushy but low. And also there's frog fruit that stays like a carpet. And so when people step on it, it'll grow back. So those are options, I guess.
But in the white rock, would that work in the white rock?
No.
Because the white rocks, it looks nice.
So you want to plant plants within the white rock?
That's what that's what,
do you want to leave it bare like this and just the palms, nice and clean looking, or do we want to add plants to it?
like that.
It's clean. It's clean.
Easy to clean up.
Yeah. I mean, for all things, considering all things, it's probably better just to keep it like that. Because if people are trampling and walking through there.
Yeah, I agree.
I motion that we keep it white rocks.
It's just a discussion
It's
item.
just this discussion.
Just
Okay,
asking for your suggestions. If somebody comes up with a plant that they might think would be nice, you can forward it on to John.
Perfect.
our parks crew, Manny has refurbished some of the swing set hardware, basically, and maintained it and got it painted
Oh, okay.
over at Turtle Park. And then we also have gotten rid of the turtles have been brought over to be painted. And I think Sandra can enlighten you on that. And then over at Pickleball Park, we painted the lines last week. And we have brought some tables over that were left over when the visitor center moved.
Is there going to be a shade on,
Not at this time, is my understanding, right, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But not at this time, but in phase 2. And then we're
And
almost,
one question also on that. It's my understanding that we probably are not going to do a porta potty at this time either.
I'm going to let Debbie answer that.
We're still looking into some options with the restrooms at things. We were enlightened that a porta potty's rent for 1 year and cleaning twice a day to make sure it was clean is $27,000. So we did not budget for that right off the bat. So we're looking into different options at this time. So at this time, we're not going to have a restroom there. But if it becomes something that is needed quicker, then we come up with an option. We will look into the porta potty option and go into city council for some funding. But we thought that was a little bit extraordinary for right now, and we don't have a lot of people using it. We might be able to do. We're looking at several different options at this
Yeah.
moment.
Did you ever? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The closest restrooms are at the visitor center, or
The visitor center that's right there is now going to be the museum, and so they're doing some construction there. We thought we would be able to utilize those restrooms for a while, but like I said, we're still looking into all the options.
Did you check with Shoreline?
They're the ones that gave us the price on the
Okay.
porta
All
potty.
right.
One
Okay.
porta potty for 1 year?
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong business.
Okay.
I need to get 4 of them and I can live happily.
hang out.
We have our sprinkler roughed in and our sprinkler lines, and we'll also have a water meter going to be installed. Laguna Madre met us over there, and it'll be over back here in this corner in, I think back here. There's an existing water meter for the hotel next door, irrigation meter, and they just, it's a real easy install. And then we're going to have floor-tam grass installed all the way around it. And that might be later this week, and it may be right at the beginning of next week. And that's it. This is what we started with.
Is it possible for people who play pickleball to bring an easy up? Like if they're doing tourneys?
We
and
have
stuff?
2 that
Okay.
we can provide. They're over
We're probably
at-
going to take one of the nets and have it put up today. So I've been out of the office, and I'm going to get with John right after this, and
we-
Easy ups, like shade, if people could bring their own shade.
people can bring, absolutely, they can bring their own.
Yeah.
All right, and you said there's 2, John?
Yes, there's 2 portable nets for there. Now, we'll be installing permanent nets, but I want to
Eventually.
find something that's
Not a
either
shade.
aluminum or stainless. The powder-coated stuff it'll be a year and all the stuff will come apart. So we want to find the right material to put there.
So technically, they're ready to be used right now.
Yes,
As of today.
Yes, and we have they've been available since last week.
Right,
in
we
case
just didn't
somebody
have the
called and
nets
wanted to
up,
play.
yeah.
They just swing by and sign out the net and go over and play all they want.
Great, great.
Okay.
The checkout process, you go to Debbie and you check out the net and the paddles?
No,
I think what we were going to do was we were going to go, and we have one portable net that we have, and we're going to leave that out there for them to play at any time they want. So that different people can play and not just one person has the net. I think we'll be fine for now until we get a permanent option.
Yes,
Thank you, John.
okay. Do you guys have any other questions about the parks?
Is there room like at that park for like a natural shade, like a tree or something?
We're going to be able to add butterfly plants there. That's part of the plan.
idea.
And we have some palm trees that've been donated.
Palm trees, just we have so many palm trees.
Yeah.
we need actual
need
trees
shade,
on this
shade.
island.
Real
Yeah.
shade.
Yeah, real shade.
What would be the friendliest shade tree to bring to the island? The one that would live?
Tepehuajes are so fast growing. In a matter of like a year or 2, you already have a pretty good sized
And
tree.
in this environment, they thrive?
And they thrive in this environment, and they have no thorns.
No what?
And no thorns.
Oh, cool.
So they're not mesquite?
I'll see what's available and what funding we have left at the end of this.
I think most of our parks need some new trees.
John, could I mention something about Turtle Park? I've observed that people are continuing to have fires at Turtle Park. And I the signs that says no fire with, per the ordinance, are only facing on Morningside. And the people that are coming to the park that are continuing to barbecue are from the condominiums on either side, either in Linda or Coronado. And they don't have a sign on those.
Oh, see, like some signs on that side of the street? Or on that edge of the
Is
park?
there something we can do about that? Because there's, on Coronado and on Linda has no parking signs. Can we just attach another sign to that sign that says no fires are allowed?
We could add a sign, but adding it to a traffic sign, I'm not too sure we could do that. But we could add a sign there in the park. I'm sure we could do that.
Because yeah.
The signs that are in the park now that have them on there are our signs that say no parking in the park. That's not, the parking signs that are on the street are a different type of no parking sign.
It's in the right of way.
It's more of in the right of way traffic.
Okay.
So that's what he's alluding to, where it seems like it's a parking sign. So I just wanted to explain that the ones that are on the street are more traffic oriented. The ones that are in the park are our signs that say no overnight parking in the park. So it's a park sign per se.
Maybe I'm having a hard time.
Where do they grill?
Come on up.
If it's in the gazebo, maybe we could put a sign inside the gazebo.
Oh, well, I have pictures I can show you. They are grilling outside of the gazebo, right on the edge, right next to the trash can. And then the one that happened last week, the big fire, and when it was dark, they were doing that, had a grill on top of the picnic table.
Inside?
No,
On the side picnic table.
on the side of Morningside.
I was thinking maybe if they're hanging out inside.
Manny, come to the microphone.
Come to the microphone, Manny. You can't have a comment.
Thank you. We want everyone to hear you.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Emmanuel with the park foreman. If they're hanging out inside of the gazebo, grilling or grilling outside and eating inside, maybe we just put a sign inside the gazebo saying no barbecue pits or fires allowed. Because you said they're facing the street, and then they're coming from the condos across the street. If they hang out inside, they're going to see the sign that says no fires or barbecue pits. It's probably the easiest way to.
That's a good idea. That way everybody would see it. Okay.
And it seems like they keep grilling on top of the picnic table, right?
Right.
Is there like a
haven't
sticker we
seen
could
any.
put on the picnic table on top? It's like no fire or something.
I haven't seen any signs of burns or anything on top of
Oh,
that table.
last year we had one of the picnic
Yeah,
tables.
but
left on fire.
recently,
Oh,
you know how much I've been over
We
there.
painted the tables
And-
about 3 times already, so.
Yeah, yeah.
You can always call too, and either code enforcement or the police can come by and ask them to stop. That'd be the safest.
I couldn't hear you.
You can always give us a call, either code enforcement
it was-
or PD could come by and ask them not to do it.
Last week was at 8:00. It was dark, and they had a big fire on top of the.
Gail, have you called the police?
I did,
Okay.
but I mean it's startling when you look out your balcony and say the park's on fire.
To be an ongoing issue over there, so we'll have to just do some due diligence and
And Gail, if you see it happening, you give me a call, and then I'll find the right way to stop it.
Okay.
in the meantime, if we can get some, some simple signs inside the gazebo, like Manny suggested, and maybe one on the other side of the park facing the street,
Okay, we'll take
might
that.
help.
Okay.
One last comment, and then we'll move on. I would like to give Manny some huge praise for the work he has done on the turtles. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Um,
Where'd he go?
He's over there. John had him move the 4 big, huge turtles. I had no idea how heavy those things were, I still don't really understand how he did it, but they moved him over here to the
Community center.
community center for me to work on him. So thank you so much, Manny. You deserve a lot of praise for that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Manny says thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we'll move along now to agenda item 4.3, update on the repaint and repair of the broken turtles at Turtle Park, and that's myself. We've kind of had a delay in it because we didn't realize that those 4 big turtles that I was just referring to, that John and Manny moved over to the community center to do some repairs, needed so much work on them. Again, I'll reiterate, he's done an amazing job. He put some pieces back on, and he actually made some pieces out of some sort of putty material. I don't know, obviously, he's done that before. But they look great, and I think they're done. Is that correct? Okay. So I will start painting those as of possibly even tomorrow. And that's going to be a long process because there's several coats that will go on. But we want to do it right so that they last and don't have to be constantly repaired and repainted. So I will complete those. I think Lori's going to be helping me, and Gail is going to be my other helper. Anybody else that wants to can come by. I'll put out a notice that I'm going to be there painting. Then I'll move over to the 3 that are left at the park. They're simple ones, small ones. They're kind of my babies. They're so cute. But anyway, it's moving right along. Anybody have any questions about those?
Sandra, the only thing I would, excuse me, I would mention is that we want to make sure that we have some kind of a recognition of the Turtle Park, all the paintings of the turtles, and some kind of something with the mayor, reintroduce the Turtle Park. A lot of people just don't even know it even exists. So they say Turtle Park. Oh, you mean that big turtle that's on this building? No.
So maybe like a grand reopening kind of a thing, Gail?
Right.
Yeah, we can certainly work on something, and we've discussed that before. So when it's all done and complete, we'll come up with a plan for that. So thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Moving along now to agenda item 4.4, update and discussion regarding the 2022 Christmas parade and events. That is going to be Debbie.
We've got Nora here today, so.
Good morning. I'm Nora Barrera, and I'm going to do the little update. On September 13th at 10, the committee met with Sandra Tarpey and Debbie and myself, and we divvied up all the tasks, went over, and it looks like it's going to do. And then the Christmas parade website has been updated, and I think you can see that there was a flyer with the save the date, December 2nd, and it's got the christmasparade.myspi.org website, and if you go on there, you'll know that there's 72 days until the parade. I love that feature, because if you go to the website, it'll tell you, and it is going to open up for enrollment for people to come in and register their parade entries on October 3rd. And it'll run through November 18th. I believe at 5 p.m. will be our deadline for parade entrance. But in the meantime, I believe this flyer is great because I love that we need your help to make the magic happen. And it will be a magical event, I feel. And already we've been talking to some of the community people that are willing to step up and help us out the day of the event as judges or photographers, or loan us a convertible or two, those kinds of day of the event tasks, the people that are going to be there, boots on the ground, on the street, helping move the parade along. So we're getting excited about it. What else? Our next meeting is going to be October 6th at 10:30 at the Community Center. Everyone's welcome to come.
What time, did we decide that was at 10?
10:30.
30? Yeah. I think that's all. If y'all have any comments, questions?
We did get quite a few responses back from when I posted the save the date. I had several people that wanted to sign up right away. And we could have opened up the registration, but I wanted the committee to look at the rules and regulations and make sure there weren't any changes or nuances that we needed to make. I have made some contact. Yesterday I went to a convention, and we might have a lead on some bleachers that we can set out on the parade
awesome.
route that will help with the crowd and will help people know to be on that side of the boulevard. So we are looking into a lot of different things for the parade, and we're excited about it.
So I'm also looking into some mariachi bands. So far, there's a couple that may work out. Debbie was very gracious and got my flyers ready. That is one of my assignments, is to go around to the businesses and or private people and try to convince them to design and make a fabulous float for the parade. If not that, at least if they would volunteer. As Nora said, boots on the ground to help us. We need a lot of people. So anybody has any other thoughts or ideas, please bring them forward to us. Thank you. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you, Nora.
Moving along to agenda item 4.4, discussion and possible action for city park signage. And that is, Julie and I, that is kind of our project. So bear with me while I go down to the other podium.
Okay.
So just to remind everybody, this started out as Julie's project. She's very wanting to get this signage done so that people know and understand that we have parks on the island, not just the beach, not just going boating, that we do have actual parks. So we've gone through a couple of discussions now in our meetings. So we'll start here. With the placement, the first one would be at the base of the causeway, of course. And this is kind of what they would look like. We have two different options. I personally like the one with all blue, with the top part being blue. We chose just the three parks. Turtle Park and Butterfly Park don't actually have equipment to play on. Turtle Park has a little bit, but the major parks are the at Water Tower Park, the Children's Park, and the skate park at John L. Tompkins Park. And then Pickleball Park, of course, is an actual park because they can play their game there. So those are the two type signs, and when I get done here, you can give me a little bit of your input on which design that you like.
So you're not going to have a sign for Turtle Park?
Not on the initial one coming off of the causeway. The signs have to be so large for people to read them, and we discussed it at length, and if we add the other two, we're looking at a huge high sign. So this is the option that we have kind of chosen.
Will there be signage on Padre, though, that says?
Yes,
Turtle
and I'm coming to that. So the first one's for the pickleball park. Of course, we are using the ones that already exist. If you come off the bridge and you go straight at the Stripes store right there, there's already a sign that says Chamber of Commerce, and it has the arrow. So we're simply going to replace that sign with pickleball park. Yes. Are you going to put it below? Because the chamber isn't going to be down there anymore.
Yes, we already changed it.
Oh, you did? Oh, great, great. I'll take a look at that. The other one is in front of where the Chamber of Commerce used to be. Now it's going to be the new
Museum.
museum, and that will say the pickleball park with the arrow turning right, so you can turn in right there to go to the pickleball court. The next one will be Water Tower Park. As we all were advised, there's already a sign on Padre Boulevard right there.
2 of them. There's one if you're coming from the
Right.
north, and one if you're going.
And one, yes, yes. So that will be the location for the new one that says the Water Tower Park. And they'll all be this blue with white lettering. The next one will be for Butterfly Park. We have pretty much decided we don't have final approval yet from John as far as this location. But we're thinking at Esperanza and Padre Boulevard is where this one for Butterfly Park should go. So the next one for Turtle Park would need to be between Coral Lee and Morningside. There's not a whole lot of space right there because of Kelly's and all those other businesses. But it's going to need to be somewhere right along there.
Is it gonna be in the median, in the middle?
We're not allowed to put signs in the median, and that's a text dot
Okay.
thing that we can't put signs there. So, and these are all the signs traveling north. The next one for John L. Tompkins Park and Skate Park, this is what the sign will say. And I know it's hard for you to see that you don't realize how big these signs are actually going to be. They have to be big enough when you're driving a car that it catches your eye and you can see and read the sign. So, and this one will be, this is the real tricky one, between Sunset and Padre. Somewhere right there is where this one will be. Did we decide we don't need an arrow on that one, Debbie?
We decided we didn't need an arrow on this one because it's going to be actually at the park.
At the park, that's
where
true,
we have
too.
a white sign that goes this way.
Right.
This sign will go this way, so when you're driving, you'll see it.
Yeah.
And when they all talked, we'll need to get some. We just were kind of getting a design going. When we get ready to do them, we might do some going back the other way. But most of the people are, when they're looking for stuff, are coming off of the island. Once you're on the island and going off. So we'll talk about the southbound signs. We're going to just see some pricing and some approvals and things on the things for the signs. But we just kind of wanted to get an idea of what Sandra and Julie were thinking in their mind. We've had meetings with John, and the one at the base of the causeway will probably need to go to TxDOT for TxDOT approval and that kind of thing. But we just wanted to get an idea of where you want the placement. We'll see where we can put that's the best. And John deals with most of the signs, so we didn't want to pinpoint it's going to go exactly right here because of maybe sight line or anything like that with driving. He's very well versed in that stuff. So just in the general vicinity, we want to make sure that we give him some directional of how to get to the parks.
Right. So that'll be the process. First, John will have to take it to TxDOT, so we need approval for that. Then it would be sent off to Delta to see if the designs that we have chosen are possible. And if they are possible, then we will hopefully get some nice pricing. As Debbie said, at this time, we're only going to do the signs on the northbound side of Padre. We just really feel like it's not necessary to have them on the southbound side.
It makes sense.
Once people come on the island, they're going north.
Yeah.
Until they build that causeway. I'm kidding.
So that's really all I have to say as far as updates. John, do you have any new information?
Yep. They look nice.
As far as the initial sign coming off the causeway, let's take a tiny bit of a numbers here. Who likes the all blue? It's
Oh, I like
two, three. And who likes the one with the pink?
I like the maroon or pink.
The maroon,
Oh, yeah.
okay. All right. Again, either way would be following the signage company that we have been using before, or that we want to follow so that we stay very uniform. It's called wayfinding signage. Eventually, the whole island's going to have to go back to following that, we feel, anyway. So City Council will have to follow that as well. So, all right.
Thank you.
That it?
Can I ask John a question, please?
John, can you go to the microphone?
Just a quick update for Water Tower Park. How's the restroom?
Actually, I'm glad you asked because, Manny was actually over there with a camera yesterday. We've had Gator Plumbing look at it 2 times. We replaced the Sloan valves in them. They did find a golf ball in the woman's side, and when they snake the toilets and stuff trying to clean them, when it's a ball or something, the snake goes around it. It's not paper or root or something like that the cleaning device can pull out. And yesterday they ran an actual video camera down the toilet, and they found.
John, can we talk about that to Gail later, because we skipped that item. And
Yeah, I gotcha.
we're on the
We're
questions
already
about
past
signage
that.
now.
Sorry,
Just so that we
Gail.
say, thank you though. But he can talk to you one off after the
Oh, come
meeting.
on, I want to know what they found.
What that camera find? What was in that toilet?
Lots of calls to John.
Sorry, y'all.
We just need to stay on our items to say that we're
Agenda, that's correct. Thank you, Debbie. All right, agenda item number 4.5, discussion and possible action for city park signage. That was already me, so sorry. So, do we need to finish that off any other way?
No, it's just, we didn't need to take any action. We
Okay,
could have, but we don't need to.
Right, okay. All right, so agenda item 4.6, update on ideas to acquire land for a future dog park, and that is Lori.
So I have what I think is good news. We started a Citizens Advocate Committee, and we have met twice. And in some very enthusiastic pet owners. And as of yesterday, we have 3 promising ideas for property. Every time before that I've come up here, I've always had to say, we need land, we need land, we need land, we can't do anything. But what we've been able to do is we started a business plan. We've been looking at the real estate. We've been looking at insurance. We've been looking at ideas for fencing and so on. But again, it still comes back, we still need the land. And so what I'm going to do going forward is start by talking with Debbie and discussing possibilities for this property. But the good news is we have people on board with us, very excited, enthusiastic, knowledgeable people that are helping and presenting ideas, a nice variety. We are looking at the cleaning of the park, how to keep it sanitized so that dogs don't get parvo. Ways to keep it secure, double gates, those things like that. So all that is part of the discussion. But the 2 really main things are that we do have 3 possibilities that we're kind of looking at for property, and that we have a group that's actively involved in presenting things, and that we have one wonderful member who has started a business plan for us and who has been really helpful in putting together our ideas and thoughts onto paper so that we can move forward.
Anybody have any questions for Lori?
I have a question. Does it require purchase of land?
Well, right now, that's what we're looking at. We did, and thank you for reminding me, we do have one of our members that is talking to people at the county, but it's not been very forthcoming. And I did talk to Jose Vega, or Joe Vega, Jose Vega. And he told me again that the slip bond.
Joe Vega. I'm
Joe
sorry,
Vega, yeah,
Joe.
Joe, okay, Joe Vega. So he told me again that the beach park has the property that's at Jeremiah's and that they're gonna put tree houses in. Interesting, since they don't have any trees. But, and then I asked him about some other pieces, and he said, well, this one's gonna be used for that, and this one's gonna be used for that. And so that's the information I got. But he told me he was going to actively look and actively let me know. And then, again, one of our members is talking to Eddie Trevino's office. Hope I don't mess up these people's names. But his office, and is waiting for a call back because they are also looking. But as Debbie pointed out, leased property, you don't get the opportunities, the same types of opportunities for grants as you do for purchased properties. And so if these are purchasable, then that would be fantastic. But that's where I've got to start talking to Debbie and then talking to whoever I need to talk to find out, if it's in the budget or if they're in the budget. They're very promising pieces. One, we wouldn't even have to build bathrooms. So there's some really very hopeful. I'm excited and hopeful.
Great.
Any other questions?
I had mentioned to Debbie that since we're bulldozing sand dunes to make public accesses to the beach, why couldn't we just add a dog park to one of those when we do the next one? And then we wouldn't even have to buy land.
I hadn't thought about that.
That would be a GLO question, and I've kind of mentioned it to Christina and the shoreline, but then that would throw it to the shoreline department, and so there's a little bit more in depth than that, but that's there's always an option with that. Anytime that you anytime that you destroy or
Relocate plants.
Dunes and plants.
you have to mitigate in another place. So it still we would have to find property to mitigate the anything that we disturbed on the dunes. You have to have that equal amount of property in another place that you plant. So that is one of those things. It still goes down to we would need land, because if we mitigated that land, then we would have to find other land. So I think that's where that kind of stops. Is it's very difficult when you have to plant. You have to plant something in the same amount of space that you disturbed. How about that?
Yeah, reforested. Well, and it's, we're talking about at least a half an acre. So I think that maybe it might be more practical overall to still look for, like you said, if we're looking for land, we're going to have to find it either way. So, and then it becomes purchasable again, so.
Okay, well, I'd just like to say I personally am very proud of what you're doing with that, Lori. It's a big project, and you're moving right along with it. Thank you.
There's some awesome people helping, I'll tell you right now.
All right, agenda item 4.7,
That's me again.
discussion and possible action on the yard and landscape of the month for September. That is Lori.
Okay, so Gail and I mistakenly gave them 8 houses, or gave y'all 8 houses this month. So the winner is, and I'm going to go back, is actually this one, Coralie.
Okay.
I thought the other one was the one that y'all both.
We
But I
did?
mean,
Which one?
that was the one that the two of
Carolyn?
you. This was the one that the both of you
Oh, the one on
nominated.
Carolyn, I thought it was the one on Coralie. My apologies.
We sent out a Google form, and 3 people filled it out, and because there was 8, there wasn't a true winner. But in talking with Laurie, Gail and Laurie both nominated.
Carolyn, not Coralie. 'cause
Carolyn.
I misunderstood you, Debbie.
Yeah.
So,
And there's
yeah.
she has the scoring sheet there, but Gail nominated Carolyn, and so we felt like with not a true winner, this one might be the best choice this time, since two people on the committee nominated the same one.
Because all
Pretty.
the bushes are all in bloom and
Well, and one of the things that's neat when you go and look at this house, I'm really glad it was this one and not the other one, Debbie, because I swore you said Coralie, is because this one, to me, really represents the landscape of the island. It's
Correct.
got that look, and so I was kind of delighted when it was this one instead, so I
we
apologize
picked
for that
the same
mistake.
ones, yay.
It looks nice.
If you guys have ever seen it, but it's just a little treasure sitting there on Carolyn, and it's beautiful. So if you get a chance, drive by, because it's really got a beautiful landscaping. And when I took my picture, and I don't know if this is your picture or my picture, but there were butterflies going crazy on this this left-hand side.
Yeah, that's great.
So right there, loads of butterflies were flying around, so I was just tickled, so.
You see they've got some native wild olive trees there on the right. You see the white flowers? Those grow really well here. So they've got a mix of native plants and tropical plants and makes a really good, nice looking landscape. And to keep it like that is difficult.
Yes, it is.
They put a lot of effort in there.
And it's got a very friendly cat early in the morning. Comes out of the garage and greets you.
Yeah, it comes out from underneath the garage. Yeah, we saw it too. It comes and sits on that little thing, so it's
I have a
good.
different feeling about feral cats,
Oh, no, this is not a
Their
feral
cat, it's not feral, it's theirs.
It's, yeah.
but outside cats.
Oh, all right, so anyway, that's the
Very
winner.
nice.
There's our winner.
Yeah, hold on. So I wanted to maybe perhaps just chat a little bit about possibly maybe doing this yard of the month is a little bit excessive. Before we were doing the quarterly. So I'm just wondering if it might be easier and better to go back to just doing quarterly yard. Isn't that what we did before, quarterly?
First, right? And then it went quarterly because we weren't getting enough pictures or nominations.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it should change the way we're doing it. We'd need to have a new item next month,
Okay.
just to clarify. Yeah. But yeah,
I just kind of want to get everybody's thoughts, but I can put that as a agenda item for next month.
I really don't mind taking pictures, and I really like finding these little gems because, like I said, this house, I mean, if I could do that, I would love it.
I think this is a great choice, and I think it's a good standard for judging the future ones.
I do too.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we stay for the yard and not the house. So, all right. So, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you.
Do you want to make a motion and pick that winner as a motion? It's an action.
Oh, yes. Someone would like to make a motion to pick that house? I do. All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any, how do you say that?
Opposed?
Any opposed? All right. Motion approved. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.